Thank you so much for coming. My name is Thomas Failer, and I'm here today to talk about a little about one of the success factors that makes ERP implementations successful. And there are many. So, having sufficient IT strength to carry on the project, having professional project management, employee education and training, business process reengineering, and so on. But the one I really want to talk about is being able to do an adequate ROI estimation prior to the project initiation, and also the ability to do an ROI calculation after the project has been completed. So research shows most companies do some kind of ROI estimation pre-implementation, just the basics, just so they can see if this project will be, worth their investment. These are usually very simple. And based on some assumptions the company has. However, very few firms actually perform an an ROI calculation post implementation, which is curious because they invested a large amount of capital into a project and they're not calculating the effect to see if they got what they paid for. So what's the problem? Well, one of the problems is that there's no standard ROI calculator for ERP implementations. It's just not been created yet. So a potential solution, we can create one. We'll call it Return on Investment Decision Support Tool, which doesn't really roll off the tongue, but it's the name. So it's designed to estimate, calculate, and do analysis for ERP implementations. So the project objective is to develop a software tool that enables firms to perform an analysis of the ROI generated by the implementation and initial use of their ERP system. So before, during, and after. So some quotes about this. Lord Kelvin said, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. And Deming, who was an efficiency expert, said, you can expect what you inspect, and measure and inspect are the important words here. What it really means is facts and data. So what we're going to do is, as our first objective, is the tool is going to collect facts and data. So we're going to collect data about, what is our supply chain efficiency? What happened in sales? Did they go up or down? Labor, overhead, inventory values. So we'll collect those values beforehand to set a baseline, and then we'll analyze them after the fact to see what the changes were. So as a second objective, the tool needs to be accessible and familiar. So we're going to base it in Excel. So it's going to be one tool to measure return on investment before, during, and after implementation. So ROI estimation and precise ROI calculation has really historically required very smart people, accountants, CPAs, and so on. And a lot of time crunching numbers, computing power, and so on, some programming. And that's why I think at least one of the reasons why people have avoided it. So we really want to make this whole process simpler. So in our third objective, we're going to make sure that this tool can be used by lots of different people: project planners, business leadership, parties inside and outside of finance, implementation planners, and so on. Very, very ability to be used by a large number of people. So proposed schedule, it's about an 80-day schedule, and quite a bit of that time is upfront, planning and estimation. A little bit of time in the middle is really calls for collecting information about the model. There's a no-go decision based on if the model works or not, and then some development in Excel, testing, and a beta launch with a customer just to make sure that we can show some ROI. So what's the result? There's going to be one tool set that will allow a customer or a client to measure ROI before, during, and after, and it's customizable, and it's a competitive value proposition that we can show a customer. So next action steps, what do we need to do to move this along? First of all, we need to commit and begin construction, and then assign some resources and time, and deliver on time and on budget. And then we have to show value. We have to be able to demonstrate value to our clients, partners, and industry peers. So I'll take questions if you have any. I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.